Hey.
Do you see this melanin here popping right now? Do you see the
I
melanin
do.
popping?
I see those tan lines right there. I'm like, and I just noticed them. I literally just noticed them. That is amazing.
I needed this tan. I needed it. Oh my God. First of all, we're going to wait for people to pile in. People are starting to pile in. Let me go to the comments. I make sure that we're not missing anybody. Okay. I just literally rushed from dinner with Chris and the kids. We're on vacation, y'all. We in Aruba. And I'm on the balcony right now because he's putting the kids to bed. It was like literally, we running. Like, I was like, I got to get back from my show. I got to see Riley.
I'm like, do you have a ring light with you?
Yes, baby, look, I bought these lights off of Amazon. And you can like fold them down and pack them in my suitcase. Oh, I came ready. Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
And they're like these like square boxes. I'm gonna send you the link because these are bomb. I actually like these better than the lights I use at home. Yes.
In your suitcase.
Yep. Put it right in my suitcase. Came with my laptop, came ready to go. So I love the fact that every week it's been very consistent with these Wind Down Wednesdays. And it's like the discussion gets deeper and deeper and deeper every week. So I'm really happy you're here, Riley. For those who don't know, Riley was one of the first people I met when I moved to DC. I was 19. We ain't gonna tell your age, but I'm fine with telling mine.
I don't mind.
Okay. Well, I was 19 when we met. Riley's a couple years older than me, but Riley was one of the first people that I met. Everyone knows that Riley Knoxx is the #1 Beyonce impersonator in the world. I mean, with the moves to the look to everything, the costumes, which, by the way, she makes herself. I'm all spitting on top of myself. I'm so excited. And listen, I didn't even have any wine at dinner because I wanted to wait to pour up and toast with you since it is Wind Down Wednesday. I am drinking whatever the hotel has. So they had some Robert Mondavi from Napa Valley. And you have the wine I gifted you.
Yes, you gave me this a couple weeks at your house a couple weeks ago. This is La Crema by the Sonoma Coast.
Yes, La Crema is the best. They have been so supportive of our Wind Down Wednesdays. So everyone visit www.lacrema.com. Their wine is great. They specialize in Pinot Noirs and I believe Chardonnays as well. They're amazing. So definitely check that out. So what is up? Let's see who's here. What's up, Jay? Ricardo's here again. I remember you from last week. D Nice, Shay, Jackie Bishop. Hello. Yes, melanin is popping. Thank you so much. Look, we had to come out here and get some sun. I was like, look here, we gotta get some sun because people keep thinking I bleach my skin. No,
I was just gonna say that. But you know what's funny? It's funny that people think you bleach your skin, and the difference is so night and day that I didn't even recognize you the second time I saw you 18 years ago. So that's how different it is. Yeah,
I can tan as dark as my husband, but then if I'm not in the sun, which typically happens after I have a baby, because you know, I'm in the house somewhere. I don't get a lot of sun. I can get like super light, but I prefer my brown melanin. Excuse me. I get very insulted when people say, oh, she must be bleaching. I would never. This is the most pro-Black person you ever gonna meet.
I know. It's crazy when people say that. No, it's just a tan.
Yes. Brandon Askins is here. Elijah, Sharon. Yes, Jay, we hit 1,000 subscribers for Not for Lazy Moms. Woo woo! Yes. So excited. So we have lots to discuss, and I know this time is just going to blow by so quickly. So thank you to everybody who swiped on up from Instagram and came right on over. Listen, somebody said that is me. I will be pale in the winter, but brown in the summer if I was out in the sun enough. Exactly. I mean, that's one thing about melanated people. Like we can get some color. We absorb the sunlight. That's what we do. I mean, come on. I lost melanin as I age. Oh my God, after having kids, I swear the hormones and stuff for a while, it was actually hard for me to tan, to get dark.
Last week. Yeah, you told me that. Yeah. That's amazing. It's just like hormones and stuff, right?
Yeah, definitely. But now it's starting to I guess I'm getting back to my normal self. So I don't know. Riley, what you been up to, babe? You want to tell people what you've been up to?
I've just been working on some projects here and there. Some stuff that you guys will see soon.
I can't wait. We have a surprise for y'all. So we just gonna wait a couple weeks and then we gonna let y'all know what that surprise is. Oh my goodness. So what is going on in the world of Riley Knoxx? How has it been for quarantine? Have you been trying to keep busy outside of performing since COVID kind of like shut a lot of things down?
Yeah, you know what? It's crazy because my last concert was 2 days before the shutdown. And
wow.
March 11th. And it was crazy because we had plans on touring all summer. I had all these things. I had such a great year before, and the first part of the year was so great.
Yes.
I was so excited, and thought that we were going to be touring, and that all got shut down. And so I just had to sit my behind on the sofa and watch a bunch of Netflix till I was restless, and I was just like,
yes,
the stage. I'm craving being creative.
Yeah.
And
what's up, Riley? I finally got the kids in the bed. The baby sleep, but the other two in there fussing and fighting. I left out of the room.
I thought he was going to sit inside while I did the show.
I come to hang with you.
Oh, thank you.
They got the wine outside, so I'm coming outside.
Oh, that's good.
I want to be with you, baby.
Okay.
We're on vacation.
Thank you, baby.
Yeah.
You having fun, Chris?
Yeah, we're having a good time. Other than the kids fighting each other, that's it. We having.
They've actually for themselves.
They've actually been really good since we've been here. Like they were at the beach all day today. So, let me just tell y'all this quick story though. So we're in Aruba, and we did everything we thought we were supposed to do as it pertained to COVID. We got tested before we left. We did all of our doctor stuff and, make sure we bought our masks, make sure the kids had masks. We took the flight, landed in Aruba, and they said, y'all came from a high-risk state with COVID, Maryland. So they said, y'all got to take it again. So we were like, okay, no big deal. Let's take it again. Oh my God, they stuck this long Q-tip down our throat and touched both tonsils. And then they went up our noses, both nostrils, and just held it there. I was just like, it was crazy. So then they said, well, now you can go to your hotel and you have to stay in your room. I felt like I was on punishment all over.
Who goes on vacation and then they're like, no, lockdown until the results come back?
8 to 24 hours.
They said it could take 8 up to 24 hours to get your results back. And we would have to stay in our room until we got our negative results. Okay, we got up at 3 a.m. We traveled with 3 kids. All day. We got here. They're ready to go to the beach. It was we landed at 2:00. So we're like, yo, we gotta sit in the room with these kids that we just had sit on the plane for all these hours to get here because they didn't have nonstop thanks to COVID. So we had to sit in the room, and I didn't want to tell them that we had to sit in the room because then it would have been worse. So I told Chris, I said, don't tell them. I said, let's just say, let's have a pajama day and rest, and then we'll go to the beach first thing tomorrow. And fingers crossed we get our results. Got our results. Everything was good, negative. And then we were able to go to the beach today. Woke up this morning and we were able to go. So I'm just grateful that they're being that strict,
So
with everything going on.
All this tan came from today?
One day. Oh, you wait till I leave here. I'm going to be Chris color.
Sweet of the juice, you know that.
Yes. So Squats and Margarita said, give me the surprise. What's up, Erin?
Hey, Erin.
If she wants to give it to you, I'm down, but she said no.
I don't want to give it to you until later.
Okay. I think that's probably a good move. People are going to gag worse than I gagged when they tapped my freaking throat with them darn Q-tip. Crazy. What do y'all see? Someone said, where's T'Challa? My baby is well taken care of. No more bird hotels for him. He gets too stressed out. So he is at home, and I have my nanny watching the bird because he knows her. He goes to her. He's comfortable with her. And I said, can you please stay here with T'Challa? And she said, no problem. So she got it covered. Somebody said, I want to gag now. What's up? Oh my God, James, what's going on? What's up? So listen here. Yes, Jeannie. What's up, Jeannie? She said, I like the way they do things. I would feel safe there. Yes, I feel absolutely safe. We love coming to Aruba. We've been coming here for the past 14 years. Most times we come twice a year. This is the first year we've been twice in the same year in a while. We were here in January for Christopher's birthday, and he said he don't want to party. He said he want to go to Aruba. So we was like, all right. And then we were able to come back here this time, and we're actually going to celebrate Chase's birthday early. So yeah. Also, I remember your last show. Let's get this conversation back to Riley. She is the guest. I've been running my mouth because I'm just so excited.
Okay.
I'm just like, I feel amazing right now. So I remember your last show, and the reason why is because we were in Hawaii and I missed it. Yes.
You were at the one right before, so.
Yes. We went to the one before, and it was amazing. Oh my God. Y'all have never been to a Riley Knoxx show. Y'all don't know what y'all missing. It's a ladies' night, it's a couples night, it's a queen's night, it's a everybody night. It is that good. Like, you're so good. I really feel like I'm watching Beyonce. Like your movements, the costumes that she makes herself. Yo, amazing. Like, I can't be more proud of you because this is like everything that you're doing is exactly what I've envisioned you'd be doing so many years ago.
Yeah. It's been a long road, but I'm grateful for everything, all the experience. And, you know, it's crazy because when I first started out, it is definitely not what it's like today. Like today I can do it without even thinking. It's, you know, rehearsal, I'm well rehearsed by the time I get on stage. But even like sometimes I have to go back and watch, because I don't go back and watch the videos. It's just not something I do, you know, I just kind of look ahead. I will look back sometimes if I'm posting something on Instagram, and I'll look back at another performance. I'm like, wow, I don't even do that same way anymore. I don't even, you know, it's just the growth definitely happens. But yeah. You saw it before even I did. And I say that all the time. Like my friends foresaw things for me way before I did.
Can I ask questions too? I know
I think you need to come closer into the light.
My question.
You gotta scoot closer, because my lights are like way back there.
So since you're performing, you know, as a professional athlete, it was some games where I went out there and I knew I balled out. I mean, I had a great game. There was no question, dominated my opponent. But then there was some games where I got dominated and I feel like I didn't play well. So have you ever been in a moment where you went out and you performed a show and you felt like you didn't do a great job?
Oh yeah. I've had moments where I mess up, you know, I'm human. So I mess up, I'll mess up a dance step or something happened. I didn't do something fast or fast enough or too slow. And I'll watch it back. And I know that I messed it up even when I'm on stage. I don't even need to see it. Right. And I've struggled my whole life with this whole thing of like being not enough. And so as soon as I come off the stage, even if I know I killed it, as soon as I come off the stage, I'll turn to someone, whether it's a wardrobe assistant, whether it's my manager or some backstage help, whatever. And I'll say, was that okay? Was that good? I struggle with even now. And people say, oh, it was so great. You killed this, your best show ever. Every show is better than the last. And I'm like, was it okay? Was it good? And that is something I've struggled with since I was a kid, and it stems from me being a kid, you know, and struggling with not being good enough. And I've had moments where I'm like, you know I killed this show, and then I've had moments where I'm like, I messed up here, I messed up there, but you know what? I try not to be so hard on myself because, and I say to the dancers, even when we're, you know, when we're in rehearsal, it's like, okay, there's no room for error, we got to kill this, whatever. But right in the prayer, right before we're in a group, you know, we hold our hands in a circle and we pray. And I say to them, just, you know, we dance like nobody's watching and we dance like everybody's watching. And if you mess up, it's okay. Like, just get back up, keep going, and pop right back into it. I try not to be so hard on them. That way I'm not so hard on myself, but I'm the hardest on myself.
Yeah, sure. I think that's pretty natural. And especially in the entertainment realm, because you always want to give it your best. And a lot of times we can't tell if there's a fumble or not, because like
I'm so glad you said that. No, the reason.
Oh, because I use the word fumble?
No. Well, fumble is good too. As long as we don't fumble tonight, we'll be good. But anyway, no.
We ain't fumble last night.
No, we didn't.
That's probably why I'm over here like this.
No, it's so
that vacation sex. It hit a little different when you're away.
Now, normally I'm the one all the time. Now, here she go. But anyway, no, that's good. I like that. You know, it's going to get the juices flowing for later. But anyway, that's one thing that I noticed too, after reevaluating myself and stressing myself out about messing up or something like that. A lot of times the fans don't even know.
Nope. That's
you keep moving now. If you panic and you choke up on stage, now they're going to know. Yeah.
And I found ways to, if I do something wrong, to kind of play it off. And the great thing is the dancers always say to me, like, if you want to step out, you can, because you're the lead. It's the dancers that really have to be on. For me, because I'm the lead, I can, you know, put the mic in the audience, or I can can, step out and if I decide I don't want to do the dance move, I can. And then people don't even really notice. They're like, no, you killed it. I'm like, no, I messed up here and here. And they're like, nobody. So, yeah.
Crazy. No, I'm laughing at Ricardo said Chris always makes the conversation about sex.
She called that. I did this time.
You did say as long as we won't fumble tonight. What's that mean?
As long as we don't like fumble the babies or something,
No, that's not what he meant.
Baby, the ones in our bed or the ones in still in storage.
I'm done. Let me stop. I've been doing too much anyway. Let me stop.
Okay, look, we've been talking for 16 minutes and we still didn't even do I'll sip to that. So basically every week when we first start doing the show, we're like talking about something that we'll sip to. So y'all notice I haven't even taken a sip yet because I've been waiting for that moment. But Riley, I want to sip to you because you are beautiful. You're amazing. You're truly authentically you. And I love the growth. I love where you are. And I'm going to sip to that. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So
people don't realize how much history is on the screen right now.
Let's go there. I was just about to say, let's go there. So I am one of your only friends that you still are friends with that has been there for your entire transition. And I want to talk about that. Riley has her own YouTube channel, Riley Knoxx. Make sure y'all subscribe and like every last video. So we did this interview where we talked about our experience and how Riley literally, her transition and her entire journey actually groomed me for when my sister and my brother came out to me. And I want you to like go ahead and tell the story and then I'll like chime in where I need to. But I just love the relationship that we've had. So when I first met Riley, Riley was Ricardo.
Yes.
And now Riley's Riley Knoxx. So go ahead, you tell it.
So we met because you were a rapper and I was a makeup artist. And I was hired to do your makeup for a photo shoot. And I was, again, this was before I transitioned, I was Ricardo. And we somehow just hit it off. We had a lot in common and we started hanging out. And I came to you and said that I was going to transition. And you were like, what does that mean? Yes.
I'm like, where are you transitioning to? Where are you going?
I always felt like I was a girl. I always felt like I was born in the wrong body. And you're like, okay, so like, what do we have to do? Like, what? I'm like, there's gonna be a new name, like, all this stuff. And it was an adjustment at first because you had to get used to having, this friend who was a guy and sort of like the gay best friend, and now it's going to be your girlfriend, and transition to a whole different. And it was such a transition. It was more than just physical because it was also kind of a mental thing too. And then it was I always say there's so many transitions that happen. There is a transition that happens physically, which is the one that people focus on the most because it's the most obvious. But obviously there's a transition within yourself and there's a transition within, your friends and your circle around you because they have to adjust to this new person.
Yes.
And so that was pretty much what I was going through. I was going through all three of those. And you were so patient with me. You were so amazing. And, Chris was playing for the Skins at the time. And, I used to go to the games with you and sit in the section with all the wives and the girlfriends and all that stuff. And what I always appreciated about the two of you is you never tried to hide me. You never seemed ashamed of me. It's crazy because I met Chris and this is all Chris ever knew. Like Chris, I don't think ever met me as Ricardo.
Never met. Yeah, that's true. Ricardo. I didn't even think about that.
Can I take one pause? I got to say this. I remember one time I had this teammate and he made a comment about you.
Yes.
And I said, listen, that's my wife's friend and it's also my friend as well.
Yes.
And he shut his mouth right away, but I let him know that's my friend. I don't really care. Like that's her choice to be what she wants to be. So I'm not going to down her for it by no means. But I said it in front of the whole team in the locker room, or at least most of them.
I remember you told me that.
But yes. I mean, it is what it is.
And more so than even a choice, I'll even go as far as say, even when I knew you as Ricardo, you were always very girly. Like Riley's hair, that's her hair. Like Riley had the longest hair, even as Ricardo, and you dressed very much like Riley even today. So the transition wasn't really that difficult for me. It was more so the pronouns, making sure that I had the pronouns right because I knew you as Ricardo. So I wanted to make sure, and I always tell this story. We were in Home Goods, as me and Riley always were. We love shopping at Home Goods, and we love to be at Home Depot. And me and Riley are both builders. Like, we love fixing things, and that's just how we are, and we bond in that way. So we were at Home Goods shopping, and Riley is like looking bomb as always, hair flowing, gorgeous, makeup beat. And I'm over there looking for her in the store, and I'm like, Ricardo. Like, and she just looks at me, and she's like, I was like, oh my God. I was like, I said, please. I said, look, I said, just work with me. Be patient, please. I was like, I'm really trying. I'm really working on this. And Riley has been always very patient with the whole process, not just for herself, but even for me. Mm-hmm. And I get very offended when people refer to you with the wrong pronoun, because I saw firsthand everything that you went through, and you taking that journey 15 years ago was not easy. It's not the climate that it is today. So I want people to understand that.
It's so different than it was. So different today than it was back then, because we didn't have any representation on TV. I always tell people, growing up, I had no template for who I was. Like, I didn't have anybody to aspire to on TV that I could look up and say, oh, that's what I am. That's how I am. I had nothing like that. And it definitely wasn't accepted. It was very taboo up until just maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. And, there's been pioneers in all of that. And, I always say that I stand on the shoulders of giants, because I stand on those shoulders of those women who literally fought in the streets just so I could walk down the street and not be bothered, and there being laws against discrimination. And so it's always so interesting that, people will try to use, people will try to say things or use certain like pronouns and stuff to try to like tear me down or try to like, misgender me, all this stuff. And it's just really weird to me, because it's just like, do you know what I went through 16 years ago? And not even 16 years ago. I'm 39 years old. Imagine growing up a transgender kid.
Yeah.
When nobody, so there's really nothing you can do or say that's gonna, because I know who I am, and the people around me, like you guys, who know and love me, have known me and have always accepted me. And again, going back to, when you play football, Chris, a lot of people think of sports as being such a macho, manly. Sometimes people can be homophobic in that industry and all this stuff. And you guys were never like that. And I was around your football friends and people, and you never did that to me. And I have always appreciated that, because it really set the tone for, it's like when your friends accept it, it's like, if these people can accept it, then, why are other people treating me a certain way, and just to get those people out of my life. So, yeah.
Yes. And it's crazy, because I remember when you first talked to me, even before you decided to transition, when you talked to me and you said, I really honestly feel like I am trapped in the wrong body. I remember you used to say that all the time. And I had more of a sense of compassion because of the fact that I could not relate to that. But I understood where you were coming from, and how can I debate someone who truly feels this and say otherwise? And I think that what I appreciate about today's climate is the fact that people are being more understanding and not being so judgmental, because you cannot argue with a person who's walking in those shoes, and then you've never tried those shoes on. You have no idea. So how could you argue with someone that is experiencing that? So the best thing to me is to just show love. You're, no matter who you are, no matter what your name is, I love you because of who you are. And that will never change. And that was something that through that process, you helped me, even for when my sister and my brother came out to me. Because at first I was like, wow, how does this happen? We all grew up in the same house. And you automatically go to that, like, wait, we all grew up in the same house. And then I start to question myself, like, well, why am I the only straight one? Moni in the middle.
She was waiting on me.
And then I start to wonder, because me and Chris met my sister was with me when I met Chris. And back then, like my sister kind of dresses like she dresses very comfortable these days. Back then, she was like dressing, like she would wear heels and everything else. So I would tell Chris all the time, what if you hit on the wrong sister? Tasha, you know, what would happen? Because if you hit on my sister, we definitely ain't got anywhere to grow from there.
Me and Tasha be riding around picking up chicks.
Oh my God.
Doing nasty stuff.
Yeah, that would have been definitely the case. Off the chain. But
him like, what?
No, Tasha probably would have been like, I can work with it.
No, honestly,
and then they would have been like, all right, let's go pick up some chicks.
No, let me tell you, Tasha told me, she said if I had chosen her when I first met, she said, you would have been got. I'd have been driving around in Bentleys, I'd have got you.
Off the chain, y'all. My sister is off the chain. She still feels like she's owed a car because she allowed me and Chris to be together. And I'm just like, you don't get. So my sister, she manages me. And she managed me back in my music days. So, you know, back then you get your manager a percentage of whatever you make. And I'm like, Tasha, this is my personal relationship. You don't manage this. You ain't getting no percentage.
She really believed that too.
She's still waiting for her cut all these years later.
Waiting for her cut. She said, "Give my percentages." Like, no, but no. So back to what I was saying was that I'm grateful for experiencing the journey, and I'm grateful because you allowed me to already understand what my sister and my brother were saying to me when they decided to come out to me. And I don't mean decided to be gay or decided to be lesbian, decided to tell me. That's what I mean. So I'm grateful because either way, I'm going to look at them like, you're my sister, you're my brother, like whatever. I'm still going to love you the same way. But I think that they were expecting me to, I guess, like, you know, have some type of shock or be like, oh my God, what? And I was just like, okay. So what else is going on in my Cynthia Bailey voice? Oh my God. But no, someone said, sorry, I'm late. No problem. We're having a great discussion. After we're done, you might want to go back and watch the live once it posts, because we're 28 minutes in and we already talked about some really good stuff. So I was posting certain things on Instagram in preparation for tonight's show, asking people what they want to talk about. And Mr. Ray from Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, shout out to Mr. Ray. He wanted you to address one of the ladies that are from RHOP, who will never be named, misgendered you on your live. And what I thought was interesting, and Riley and I talked about this, what I thought was interesting is the fact that I knew Riley when Riley was Ricardo. Right. So if anybody's going to slip up and misgender,
it should be you.
And I don't even do that.
Right.
When you met She Who Will Not Be Named, you were already Riley.
Yes.
So to me, I'm gonna let you tell the story because I don't want to get heated right now. I'm on vacation, I'm drinking my wine, I'm having fun.
I'll drink to that.
So you go ahead and tell the story because you was there.
Yeah. So I've met her many times. We've hung out a few times. She's been to my show. She's, you know, it was odd because she was talking about how she met me or that she had been to my show and she misgendered me twice. And it was really kind of odd to me because it's like, you never knew me before. You only knew this. And this has only been a couple years that you've known me. So it was very odd to me. And I didn't even see it when she did it in her live. I went back and watched and I was just like, this is weird because people were just like, she misgendered you. And I was like, no, she didn't. And they're like, no, you need to go back and watch. I did. And I was kind of like, yo, this. I was very put off. It was just strange to me because we have always been, even despite what went on between you guys, I've always been cordial. I've always been, you know, I've never been mean, never said anything at all. and was even after the, situation happened between the two of you, I saw her at a news station, and we were, I think she probably thought that I wasn't going to be like, warm or anything. I was just like, hey, what's up? Whatever. Because honestly, I don't have an issue with her, and, I'll obviously ride or die for you, but, I don't have an issue personally with her.
And I'm not a person, let me just say, I'm not a person that will put someone in the middle of anything and make you choose a side, because that's like so elementary and immature, and I don't roll like that. And Riley was very respectful. She did not throw any type of shade or even an evil glance at her when you saw her. And you were still like following her on social media. You were like still liking, and I didn't get upset. I'm like, whatever. You have your experience with her, and I'm not going to judge you for it.
Yeah, so, to the point that people were like, oh, we think Riley's being shady because she's Monique's friend, but she's over there liking that girl, sending that girl, whatever. And I was just like, first of all, Monique would never put that on me to be to be like, oh, be mean to that person just because I'm ride or die for you. But you would never be mean to somebody just because you two don't get along. What people don't realize is we've been through this before. You know what I mean? So in the past, so I've been in the middle before, and I was close with the other person. So, so I kind of like, I reached out and I was just like, what's up? Like I was like, and I said I wasn't going to say anything about it, so I won't give the exact details of it because I even said in the message. And she did apologize to me, and she said she's still learning things about the LGBTQ community, blah, blah, all this stuff. And she said that she would never, because I was like, I'm not going to speak about this publicly. So, I appreciate that you don't speak about the fact that I, whatever. And she did apologize, but it was very interesting because that was done in private. It was done publicly, but and I will tell you this. I'm not the victim. I'm nobody's victim. I'm not like that. But it was just very interesting to me because it almost was like, how could you sleep? And then it makes me think to myself, well, how do you really see me? You say you're supportive, you say whatever you see.
Some people don't like to own their crap. And that's what the problem is. So if I have a problem with people who will publicly try to humiliate you, and then they want to offer an apology in private. Like, to me, the two need to equal up. If you publicly humiliate me, you need to publicly apologize. And at the end of the day, the very interesting thing about this whole situation is, if I'm not mistaken, a few days later is when people started resurfacing some very homophobic tweets that this person had put out a decade ago. And then this person comes back and says, oh, that was me 10 years ago. I'm not that person, this, that, and the other. But 2 days ago, you just misgendered Riley Knoxx. Like, and I haven't even spoke about this, but it pissed me off so much because to me, it was a blatant shot. And I feel as though that shot was taken at you, not because of you, but because of me. And that, you can say whatever you want about me, but don't come from my friends and don't come from my family.
Yeah. And I think the part of the story that a lot of people really don't know is I was at your house because we were waiting for T'Challa to come back.
Yes, that's when T'Challa was
at your house. And so people thought that I was being fake or two-faced because they're like, oh, Riley's on her live, but she was just on Monique's live in person. And I had already clicked off of her live. I just said, oh, she's like, no, whatever. It wasn't like I was showing you. I'm not that kind of friend. I'm not like that. And I think Karen went live that night too. And I was just kind of like, oh, Karen's live, whatever. And me just being supportive, I'm just like, whatever. She did say some nice things about me on that live. And then I clicked off of it. And it wasn't until later that people were just like, oh, Riley's at Monique's house being a spy. So she's playing, she's playing double-sided, whatever. And she was just like, oh, I hope that's not the case because, we've never had a problem, whatever. And then that's when the misgender happened there. I don't know what was purpose or what was not purpose, whatever. I just know that for me, it is always odd for me because people have done this to me before where they just met me or they never knew me before, because there really is nobody in my life right now that knew me before other than you and my friend Billy, right? And so it's just strange to me when they slip up, and it makes me think, is that how you see me? Because you don't slip like that. You don't do it.
Me and Riley sat out there until 2 a.m.
I drank an entire bottle of wine.
Whistling, looking for my bird, sitting on my porch, looking like a crazy bird lady, talking about like doing all his whistles. And that's like the furthest thing that I'm thinking about. I had to do my live after the show, because at night the episode aired. I did my job, and then I went back to looking for my bird. So didn't even know until the next day when everything started like coming to light. And then she said a lot of things that night that was just really nasty. Things about me, things about my kids, just nasty. And what we gonna do is we gonna ask somebody to pray for her, because I'm not doing it. That's where I'm at right now. We're gonna ask somebody out that's why, pray for her, please. Because I'm over it. It's like at the end of the day, things went down a very long time ago. It's been well over a year. Right. And I moved on. Like, I'm just like, all right, I moved on. Like, I've healed. I've sought counsel. I've went to therapy. I'm still in therapy. I've grown. And I can't deal with people whose growths are stunted, and clearly that is a stunted growth right there. And that whole situation really, like, it irritated the crap out of me, because I did not feel you deserved that. And I understood where that came from, and I was not for it.
Yeah. And see, me being who I am, I'm still the person that's just like, give somebody the benefit of the doubt. Because I reached out, like, and she's just like, oh, I was thinking about you this morning. I'm glad you reached out, and like I said, I don't want to go into like what we said in that DM, that message, but I will say to people, there was an apology in private. There was an apology. So just for anybody that is wondering, there was. It was in private, but honestly, for me, I even said this to you. I was just like, I just want to go away, because I don't want people to Google my name and that be the top thing that comes up. I want no part of that. Like, because see, here's my thing. If people see me fly off about being, they feel like they can use that. Now we got something to use against her. We can just call her a man and that'll get to her. But that is never going to get to me, because I know who I am. You know what I mean? Like, right. But like, people if I respond in that way, people think that that's something you can use. That is not something you can. So if anybody's out there watching and thinks that that's something, I've been called everything under the sun. It does not, whatever, so.
Girl, me too. If you Google my name right now,
bunch of crap.
Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy.
The difference is the people who know you and love you, who really know you, that stuff doesn't matter. They know who you are. It doesn't matter what the names they call you. You know what I mean? Yes. People really know and love you, so it doesn't matter. People are going to say things all the time. That's just who we are. We're in the public eye. That's just, but
if nobody's talking about you, then you're not even relevant. If a lot of people are talking about you, whether it's negative or positive, then you're doing some good things. As long as you're doing good things and staying positive. So it's whatever.
Yes, and that's what I love about you, Riley. You keep it pushing. You got things in the works that you've been working hard on, projects that you've been working hard on, and that's what's going to overshadow anything that's going on right now. Yeah. So yes, keep showing people how to be proud of themselves, how to have high self-esteem, how to love on themselves. And that is what you exude. And I'm proud of that. And I just love the fact, I want to move on to another part. I love the fact that you are so open and proud of who you are.
It took a while to get there.
No, but let me tell you, one thing that used to like piss me off is the men who would want you to be their little secret. And that would irritate the life out of me for years. Because I'm like, you deserve more than that. You should not be somebody's little secret. And oh, go ahead. You talk about it, because I don't want to get upset. So for the whole time that I've been dating, really, which was since 19, but even before I transitioned, I've had guys that wanted me to be their dirty little secret, which is so strange to me, because normally when you're dating someone, you're proud to you're proud to be with them,
for me, it was very odd because I knew that if I were different, if I were not trans, you know, I was the good on paper girl, you know? And so it was crazy because if I had been just a you know, a cisgender woman or biological woman, there would have been men that wanted to take me home to meet their mothers or wanted to show me off with their boobs.
But then there have been men that would take you around and everything will be going great. And then all of a sudden it was just like, wait, what the heck? What's the problem now? You know? And it was battles within themselves that they were dealing with. And to me, it's like, I'm waiting for you to get married so I can be a bridesmaid and stuff. And
oh my God, I was talking about that the other day, actually.
It's gonna happen.
I was like maid of honor.
Let me check on the babies real quick. You know, when strange place there.
Oh Lord, the red light. But yeah, you know, it's just a strange thing because it's been very rare that I've had that, and I just kind of chalked it up in the past to like, that's just, you know, that's just my plot and my light in life. Like I will probably never have, I used to think this, that I will never have that thing where the guy is so proud to take me out and show me off and all this stuff. And it's just really weird because I said this, and a lot of you who have watched the last video that you posted here on YouTube, if you watch the part in the video where I say, huh?
The Redefine Me. If y'all watched the live show, Riley was one of the guests on that show. Y'all should watch this part. If you don't want to watch the full video, fast forward to Riley's part because it was so good. But go ahead and say what you're. I know
it's crazy that, you know, especially with me now and who I am in the world and in the meet and, you know, and just what I do. It's crazy that I would meet somebody now that would want me to be their dirty little secret, and I'm like, dude, there's 300 people that just paid to see me. They paid good money to see me. And, you know, spend hundreds of dollars on tickets to come and see me, and you are hiding me? No way. And I had to get to a point in my life where it was just like, no, that is not going to happen. I could not deal with that. And it was quite a process because I thought that that was all I could get. And I thought, well, you know, since this is all I can get, you know, I don't want to be lonely. I don't want to be with, so if this is the only kind, like somebody that's only going to hide me, then I just have to accept that, you know, that they're not going to want to be proud of me or proud to show me off to their friends or take me around their friends or whatever. And, you know, it took me having to build my esteem to the point where I didn't allow people to do that to me because, you know, I say it all the time, self-esteem, your self-esteem controls everything you do in your life. You know, how you let people treat you, how you see yourself is how you let people treat you. So I saw myself as just like, well, this is all I can get. This is all I could, you know, not all I deserve, but like I've been trying. I try everything I can. I put myself out there. I'm great, you know. Someone said about, yes, that was the you know, Pearl, when I was going through the depression, and you had Pearl call me, and that was from the video. But I was just suffering from, you know, the fact that, you know, I was depressed, but also just the low self-esteem of just based on how men saw me. My worth was based on how men saw me, which is, when you think about it now, it's just like, that's so weird. Like your worth is based on how other people outside of yourself that only want to just sleep with you, you know what I mean? And don't really see you for who you are. That's crazy to me. Now that is crazy to me, but you know, I was in my late 20s, early, you know, and so it was a very slow process. I'm just so grateful that I got to it. Could you imagine almost being 40 and still feeling that?
And there are some people out there right now who are over 40, who are still hiding from who they are, and they're living life in a box because they're afraid of what other people think. Yes. You got to get to a point where you say, screw what other people think. Listen, if I really cared that much about what other people think, I'd probably be hiding under somebody's box right now, even with all that's going on in my life. Well, not my life right now, but my life a year ago. All of the judgment, the name calling, all of those different things. But you get to a point where you get so much peace within yourself and you've healed truly. And you just get to that point where you just realize, wow, I have grown. I deserve more. I deserve better. I'm a full person. Nobody's perfect. They're the ones that scream the loudest are the ones with the dirtiest closets, you know?
I hit dog gonna holler, you know, I'm from the country.
Really, I know.
Y'all gonna holler.
It's true.
Trust me on that.
You have one life to live, and you better live it. Simple
Yes.
as that, you know. So I'm just, I'm just excited for you, and I just know that it doesn't even matter about Mr. Right because Mrs. Riley has it all the way figured out, and you'll be there doing what you're supposed to do, and when that right person comes along, great. But either way, you got you together, and that's what's most important. Now you're prepared for whatever comes down your road, you know?
And you know, one thing I want to say too, and Riley, you know, from back in the day when we used to hang out and stuff like that when I was playing, I can tell you're much happier now.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like two different people. You're much happier, much more positive.
Yep.
And, you know, I'm happy for you. You know, at the end of the day, you know, you got to make yourself happy. You can't worry about everybody else. You've always been a kind person and treated people right.
Yes.
So you got to live your life. And I agree with that, you know?
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Chris. I am happy now. So
No, I can tell. Trust me.
Yes. No, this has been a great session. I can't believe I knew this time was going to fly by. And we're already almost 2 minutes past our 45.
Well, let's do it again.
But
Look at me. I don't even like social media like that.
this ain't
Oh, whatever this mess is.
You don't even
Talking
know.
to people,
You don't even
whatever.
know.
Y'all type something to me, you know?
Well, listen, thank everybody for tuning in. We're going to have you back, Riley, because I know people are going to have even more questions after hearing just a little bit that we just discussed. But this was great. And I just want to remind everybody, make sure you follow Riley Knoxx on all of her social media platforms. It's her name, Riley Knoxx, and her YouTube channel. Keep up with everything that she has going on. She's an amazing person. Keep inspiring people, Riley.
Thank you.
Sure y'all follow Not for Lazy Moms on all of our social media platforms, on our website, notforlazymoms.com. And our podcast releases every Tuesday. So make sure you're checking out those episodes. And even though the title is Moms, a lot of our episodes and a lot of what we talk about is really just life stuff that anybody can benefit from. So
moms still have lives, you know, so it's that they're, you know, it's not just mom stuff.
Yes. Being a mom just inspired this platform, but the platform is so much more to just parenthood. It really is. So Riley, I thank you for being on.
Not for lazy moms.
And
the baby
dad.
sleep.
There you go. Here he go. So anyway, thank y'all so much for tuning in to our live. We will be back. We'll be back next Wednesday at 8:15 every week. Oh, he gets started.
Hey,
Oh my God. I cannot. What we drank tonight was Robert Mondavi, his Cabernet Sauvignon 2013 vintage. It was great. I really enjoyed it. Riley drank La Crema Pinot Noir. Yes. So make sure y'all check out those wines, and we will see y'all next week. Bye.